Am I like yelling into this thing?
No.
I'm totally a virgin when it comes to stand-up, and that's it's really cool to be here with you all this evening. What I'd love to, just taking a little feather out of Alex's cap, there's my fiance is here. Could you please give her a warm welcome? I won't talk about my ex, but I will say that the only reason that my fiance came today is because I had to buy her a ticket. Yay! What's cool about being here today is that I haven't done this before, so there's a bunch of virgins, and that's wonderful. What was so wonderful as well was that I got my name put on the poster, and I love this to bits, and I'm not sure who did this out of Oslo Community Theatre. It's wonderful, but they put my name down as Kevin Cow. Sorry, my full name is actually Kevin Gao. And then if you're living in Norway for a long time, it becomes Kevin Go. So I'm Kevin Go to all of you here. My 5-year-old self that got like mocked for the surname of Gao is Kevin Cow. So let's give a hand to Kevin Cow, the comedian. Thank you so much. What I'm really interested to know is there anyone in the audience who has also had, at the age of 5, 6, 7, whatever, as a kid, where you were mocked for your name? Would anyone be brave enough to share what that was? We'll move on swiftly. So the next act, I remember that the feeling of that would just like, it would infuriate me, right? Like motherfuckers, they call me Kevin Cow. I'm gonna find where they live. No, I was only 5, so to be fair, I didn't say that. But like it cut through the soul, right? And the thing is, that I mentioned I've got a fiance, and she's here tonight. One more round of applause, please. Thank you. We're actually going to have a little baby, which is really awesome. We got to choose a name. And I'm going to tell you all what the name is. No, I won't, because we are a little superstitious about that. But what I think is like there's immense power in a name, and there's beauty in a name. So my full name is Kevin James Denham Gow. Mouthful, right? Kevin is Irish, right? James Denham, I don't know what the fuck that is. And Gow is actually Scottish, would you believe? That's a Scottish name. Scottish, aye. My father's from Dundee. My mother's Irish. So I'm half Irish and I'm half Scottish. Actually, there's a quarter Greek in there as well, because my granddad fought in the war, World War II, Captain Corelli's mandolin. Yeah, go on, yeah, thank you, yeah. And the beauty is that, so if it wasn't for Hitler, I wouldn't be here, right? That's the moral of the story. No, because of World War II, it's actually true. There's so many refugee stories that result in love, in life, in birth, and that is the way life goes, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's a history in all of our names that is pretty profound, it's pretty beautiful. So I got this Irish and the Scottish thing, and would you believe, you know where I'm born? I'm born in South Africa. Woo! Yeah. But I'm white. Whoa, that's crazy. And I am multilingual because I had to learn Zulu in school. Ngikhuluma isiZulu. Wena namhlanje unjani? Wena nyaphile? No, you don't know what I'm saying. I basically asked, how are you, right? But the thing is, like, you wouldn't think that if you look at me. And what I love about living in Oslo these days, we could hear it in the audience, there's a good bit of Norwegian, and I'm sure those are all multicultural versions of Norwegians as well, but then there's a whole bunch of internationals, which is a whole bunch of, mixed blends. There's languages, there's cultures, there's all that thing. My kid is going to be half Latvian, 1/8 Greek, good God, 1/4 Irish, 1/8 Scottish, damn it, and he's going to be kind of still half South African if I have my way as well, because I'll teach him Zulu, goddamn, I'm going to teach him Zulu. What I love about that is that you everywhere you go, you take your history, your culture, your your background with you, not just your genetics, not just your personality. And I think we are the sum of all of our experiences, actually, for better or worse. So I've lived in Johannesburg, in Cape Town. So someone mentioned gold. I think you're in the context of a gold asshole. Not really relevant. But gold. Johannesburg is known as the city of gold, right? So there was when I was growing up, there was a like a telenovela, but that's not what we call it. We just call it a sitcom, I guess, in South Africa. It was called Egoli, which means place of gold in Zulu. I'm fluent, so I know that. You guys, I'm just educating. So Egoli, so it means place of gold. And in that show, we would have Afrikaans, we would have English, and we would have Zulu. So, South Africa is definitely one of those rainbow nations, per se. That's as Nelson Mandela was calling it, right? And what I love about living in Oslo these days is that definitely, particularly in June, we see a hell of a lot of rainbows, and I really like that. I moved here in 2010, and I can see that progression. There's way more multiculturalism. There's different people around, different colors, different cultures, different backgrounds. And we all got one Norwegian friend. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. We need more Norwegian friends. No. I love not living in Norway for this reason, the multiculturalism. It's actually, I guess, how I met Sarah, actually, is through multicultural social groups in Oslo, right? What I was going to say today is not what I'm doing here, because I forgot to mention I'm an improviser, so I have no script whatsoever, so I'm just ad-libbing. And it is very dark up here, so I realize I'm just staring at the emergency exit sign as I'm doing, which is probably not effective audience contact. So what I was going to say is that, I proposed to my fiancée this year. Woo! You guys are nailing it, thank you so much. It's going to make it so much easier. And what we did is, we went to South Africa, hadn't been for a long time, went for a trip to South Africa this year. It was around February, January, which is like the summer down there. It was going to be perfect, blah, blah. And we got there, and it was like a family trip. And there's a really long adventure that I'm not going to get into in these 5 minutes right now to get there. But I thought, okay, what better place than to propose to my girlfriend than at the Cape of Good Hope, right, the most southernmost point of South Africa. The only problem is it was really hot, we had no water, and we were kind of dehydrated, and we started to get sunburned, and everyone started arguing in the group, so the vibe was like wrong, yeah. So I didn't do that. And the funny thing is that's like where you missed that little opportunity where you coulda, shoulda, woulda, and the scripted one, which is why I love improv, because it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't do it. And I have no regrets, because what happened is we just waited. I waited, and I was like, okay, when's it? I'm not sure now. And we were on this ski trip, and I had blisters the size of that person's cap in the front row on the back of my foot. And we're going along, and the two other people we were on the trip with, they went away, and the snow is about 2 meters high. The wind is blowing. It's cold and stuff, and we cross a little bridge. We're now alone. It's just me and my partner. And we cross a little bridge, and then I'm like, oh, maybe no, damn it, fuck, I missed it again. And so we ski back a bit, and then I turn to her and I say, and she's Latvian, by the way, and I think I mentioned it, and I say, oh, I forgot something on the bridge, and she looks at me and she's like, huh? You're not carrying anything. No, that's something to do. We need to go back, yeah? So I'm like, okay, let's she's okay, fine, what did you forget on the bridge? No. Well, so in Latvian culture, I learned this, I don't know if this is true, if she's bullshitting me, but she said that every time you're on a bridge together with your loved one, you should have a kiss, right? So we didn't do that, so I was like, we need to go back for a kiss. So we go back. We're on the bridge, and I go across, and it's like awkward because you're on skis, so it's like that, it's like that, fuck, I missed the bridge, fuck, missed the bridge, that kind of way. We organize it, like, I'm like that, she's like that. So she's like that, and I'm like that, and I got on one knee and we propose, and it's beautiful, yeah. So as we decide then that we're gonna I didn't have a ring, right? Because I didn't think that far. I'm an improviser. Forgive me, I didn't have a ring. So I thought we've both got these watches that make you can make patterns in the snow. Right? So I'm like, on our watch, we can make rings in the snow rings up there on the hill. She's like, oh my God, that's so romantic. Wow, beautiful. So we ski back up the hill where we came from, away from the bridge, and I make one ring and she makes another ring, and then we synchronize it on our phones. The problem was that what it ended up looking like is a dick, yeah, because there was one ring here and there was a long thing going down to the bridge. Anyway, so yeah, that's actually just my show. I guess I'm short and sweet today. So yeah, you're a lovely audience. So I was laughing so much.